Hello everyone, I'm Ben Coleman, one of your many hosts here at the Florida Aviation Network. We're coming to you live and in the clear from the Florida Air Museum. Aerospace Center for Excellence is what Light Saloon Hills likes to call this establishment. And 45th Annual Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo. We're so proud to have so many manufacturers, distributors, vendors, suppliers, guests, people of all ages here that enjoy the freedom of flight, aviation, and all the passion and energy involved with this industry. And speaking of energy, we happen to have a guy here with more energy than I have ever seen in one spot at one time walking on 2 feet. Kermit Weeks.
Dan, good to see you.
Kermit, tell us a little bit about what's going on at Fantasy of Flight.
Oh wow, all sorts of stuff. I'm out here selling a little bit of my children's books. I got another one at the printer, so I'll be selling that up at Oshkosh. I've been working on the design and development of Fantasy of Flight Act 3. You know, as we know, we closed about 4 or 5 years ago. We've got just a little seasonal museum open to kind of keep the gift shop open and keep our toe in the water for some of the airplane enthusiasts come out and see the airplanes. But I've been working with some great theme park design guys. My right-hand guy was, his name was Bob Ward. He was the original lead designer for all the Universal Studios parks, and he was there when they began what Universal was going to become eventually, trying to do their backlot movie tour in Burbank, California. He was here at the beginning of Universal Studios in Orlando. And he and I have kind of got a past connection, like way in the past. And we reconnected.
In a different world.
In a different world,
okay,
yes.
Got it.
And basically we reconnected, and he's since introduced me to some great global theme park guys in Orlando. They're all over the world. They love my concept. It's very unique. It's really kind of almost the opposite of the existing theme park industry, which is, the difference is, the existing industry is for the masses. It's about escaping from reality. Walt's segue was, we were coming out of World War II in Korea, and everybody wanted to forget all that and, have a Leave It to Beaver lifestyle. And so, which was great, and Walt created something that I believe I'm going to be able to stand on his shoulders, create something completely different. My product's going to be more about the individual. It's going to be more about engaging reality. And we want to use the metaphor of flight, not so much airplanes and aviation, but the metaphor of flight, reaching beyond ourselves, pushing our boundaries, freedom, in a way that touches people not only in the aviation industry, but more importantly, people outside the aviation industry. In this business, it can be pretty tough, because there's this many of us that like airplanes, and we're all on the center front airfield right now, and the rest of the world doesn't realize what we're doing. So I'm trying to create something that goes after the rest of the world.
Kermit, and I explained to folks that we are a sliver of the pie chart as far as the totality of the world goes, and that's, for the most part, it's our own darn fault, because we talk to each other. We need to go out and talk to others about.
I believe aviation has an untapped potential that I hope to take advantage of. And there's a lot of people out there that are in other unique, eclectic organizations.
Can I correct you?
Yeah.
You are taking advantage of it.
Well,
you don't try it, you're doing it. And that's a compliment.
Well, wait till I eventually deliver what I hope to deliver. And it's like, I was in the aviation museum business for 30 years, lost my butt. And basically, the bottom line is, if you've got a business product that most people aren't willing to pay for, you got a business product most people don't want. Okay, and I think everybody in aviation can agree, especially in the museum business. We preach to the choir. We build icons of what we think is cool. We force feed people information we think they ought to know. And I want to do it in a little bit different way. I'm not going to teach history. I'm going to use history to teach you about yourself. So you've got to bring the past into the present to make it relevant, especially to this generation.
Kermit, you're familiar with the evolution photograph of Chimp, and Chimp gets
Yeah,
taller and carrying a briefcase, and then it goes up to a man in a suit. I can see it going one other level, and I see you at the end of that man in the suit. the evolution of mankind, and it's like you, and I've always admired your charisma and dedication to the journey. Life is a journey.
That's really what it's all about. Fantasy of Flight, we have a mission statement, it's Light That Spark Within. And it's a metaphor for basically potential, infinite potential, coming into this world of light. So when we mean that, Light That Spark Within, a Fantasy of Flight, it's you expressing that potential, what I believe what you truly are, and bringing it into this world and expressing it in your own unique way. I don't want to tell anybody anything at the future of Fantasy of Flight. I want people to self-discover and self-transform themselves for themselves, not about aviation and airplanes, but about this metaphor of flight, which I defy you to come up with a more profound metaphor for pushing our boundaries, reaching beyond ourselves, and freedom than flight.
And it's not only on this Earth, it's on many other Earths and other worlds and the universe. And does that sound familiar?
The reality is, I think, if you think about it, 100,000 years ago, humanity was drawn beyond itself. Would you agree?
I agree.
Today we are. In a million years, we still would be.
Yep.
Think about it. If you're a self-aware life form in any reality, we're drawn beyond ourselves. I believe that's what this journey is all about. And it's basically what we truly are, potential, trying to understand what we are. And the only way we can do that is to go from a limited perspective and go beyond what we perceive ourselves to be. That, to me, is what the journey is all about.
I agree with you. And Kermit, I'm going to give the guys in the truck just a heart attack. We come into this world naked, don't we?
We do.
We all come in the same way.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we have a decision to make of what we do when we're naked and where we do it.
There we go.
Where would you do something naked?
Oh my God, are you talking about my rum? Oh my God, I was literally laying on a beach in Negril, Jamaica with my future wife, and the words to a song came to me. This is the way my world works, and I think everybody at some level has similar instances. And I literally wrote this song on a beach in Negril. And eventually I went home and I recorded it in a studio, and I've always loved drinking rum and orange juice. I created my own rum. 5 miles south of me is a distillery in Auburndale. The name of the song and the name of the rum is Naked in Jamaica. You can buy it locally here at Tucker's South Side in Lakeland, or at Fantasy of Flight. We sell it in the gift shop. I've got a liquor license just to sell my own private label. But it's interesting. It actually, it comes under the umbrella. It's a funny way of delivering a very profound message, and it comes under the umbrella of what I'm trying to do. It's the only alcohol product on the planet. I've got a couple of gold medals and silver for it at some of the rum shows, alcohol shows, and it's the only song that alcohol product has a song named after it. It has a drink named after it, which is a rum and orange juice. I've always loved drinking rum and orange juice, but you can't find a rum that mixes with orange juice. Think about it. True. Every tropical drink is rum and fruit juice. And so basically, there's a drink named after it, there's a song named after it, and on the back of it, there's a message in the bottle. And it's not about wild and crazy and taking your clothes off. It's seeing clothing as a metaphor for how we don't express our true self to the world. So while you're sipping my Naked in Jamaica rum, I want you to ponder how you're limiting yourself and covering yourself with false pretenses and not expressing your true self to the world. So anyway.
I must admit, I am a little disappointed. After Melody and I went through our second case of Naked in Jamaica.
Oh, that's a great testimonial.
We turned in, this was around Christmas time, and I sent you the Naked Santa.
Oh, you did? Oh my God. That is awesome. Yeah, so you need to come up with your own naked drink. He sent me one. My rum and eggnog is off the chart to die for, thanks to Ben.
The Naked Santa.
The Naked Santa, that's awesome.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah, come up with your own naked drink.
But now, Kermit, you know that we here at the Florida Aviation Network, being run by volunteers with volunteers, we're here about aviation safety, and we need to put a plug in there about why this industry is so dynamic and wonderful and can be tragic and just terrible.
Boy, look at the statistics on the road, and that's a two-dimensional world, and then all of a sudden you take it to a three-dimensional world, and you got to think in three-dimensional safety. It's very important. We try and do everything we can at Fantasy of Flight to be as safe as possible, and I hope to do more flying and hope to offer rides in some vintage airplanes at some point, and we don't want to hurt anybody or any airplanes.
You have a tremendous safety record there now, and I remember many years ago. You probably don't remember when SMS first came out, and I was talking to you about, well, Kermit, what do you do for safety? Jack McCloy. But no, what method do you? What system do you? Well, it's Jack McCloy. So remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, but
believe it or not, Jack is back.
Jack is back.
Yeah.
Jack, we're neighbors.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm proud to
up
keep
there
him
in the green swamp.
Absolutely. The aerodrome itself, but do you remember seeing a picture of that biplane in a tree? The only tree in the middle of a field.
Yes. I own that Jenny. That's a Curtis Jenny. I own that airplane. It's at Fantasy.
I didn't know that.
It's a project right now.
It's in a box.
No, it's just in my storage facility. The Curtis Jenny in the tree that's crashed with the wing broken off, and it says something about hazardous, blah, blah, something.
Aviation in itself is not dangerous.
Yes.
However, to a higher degree than the sea, is terribly unforgiving of any incapacitance, negligence, or complacency.
This guy used to work for the FAA. I'm just trying to tell you. Can you tell?
But actually, it's a very true statement. That is circa 1931. And that was from a surveyor in the UK came up with that, and we attribute that to him. A lot of people use it.
Oh, I'll be darned.
But the guy that put it in the tree broke his leg. He came out of the airplane.
Oh my gosh!
It didn't kill him, but he got out of the tree with a broken leg, and that's about all we know of it.
Unbelievable. Well, the airplane's up the road.
I got to come see it. Can I come see it?
For sure. Yeah.
The safety thread here, we've had so far at the 45th annual, a Baron dropped a nose gear, went down on its nose. We have a light sport that went up on its tail, up on the nose, brought the tail up, and we had a L-39 had a flat tire on
That's
rollout.
pretty good.
So I mean,
unfortunately, we're not going to see any tornadoes come through.
No tornadoes or fire.
Or fire.
Oh,
that's right. Those were cars.
Yeah, somebody parked the car out in the parking lot, and the grass was a little higher and dry. And man, what a mess that made. We were about ready to evacuate.
We all learn. Life presents opportunities to learn. It's not just aviation. Oh my gosh, just walking through life is
it's a journey.
It is.
Tell me about your children's books. I know you've had one. You're working on the second or the third.
Well, I've got 3 out so far, and I have 1 at the printer. The first 2 were aviation characters with airplane characters that I've got. The third one was Austin the Ostrich, which is like my park icon. If I was Walt, it would be my Mickey Mouse. That's going to be actually a whole series of 13 books. I've kind of story arced the series. I had to know how it was going to end to finish the first book, and I've developed characters that I've already developed, and I've done a little bit of writing. So my next Austin book will be book 2. And I've got another airplane book that's at the printer right now. I'll have it at Oshkosh for sure. It's called Overnight Success. And trust me, this book has taken me so long. And the main meaning of the book is there are no overnight successes. Oh my gosh, and I've learned the hard way on this one.
Hard work, a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
And Kermit, at Aero Television, you know Brad Irwin?
Yeah.
We have a slot dedicated for the Fantasy Flight Channel.
Really? Awesome. Good.
On Aero Television.
Good.
And between the Wizard of Orlampa, the Kermit Cam, and I think you're going to have
my YouTube channel is going great.
Yeah.
I mean, going great. I think we just broke 80,000 subscribers. It's climbing. I think as soon as we get to 100,000, YouTube dedicates somebody to us to help us, go even more. So they like what we do. We eventually, a couple of years ago, we started doing the advertising because everybody was pretty much used to it. And it's actually, at some point, my channel's going to pay for itself. I mean, it's going to be a while before I gain all that, pre-roll in front of it. But I've had so many people come up to me saying, "Hey, we love the Kermit cams, love your, what you're putting out there and stuff." And so I appreciate that.
But Brad and I have been watching, and it's not that you're ahead of us, it's that we're just behind you. If that's a little different way to look at it. But we are going to all get there. And it's just all having fun and enjoying life.
Yeah, well, good.
And is the term follow your energy?
Follow the energies of life, and it will lead you to your destiny. It's all about following the energies. And what I mean by that, it's the way I live life. you know, to me, there's like this little lower self aspect, there's a higher self aspect, whatever you want to call it. And those little things that you resonate with in life, it's almost like a clue. There's like an aspect of yourself saying, come this way. And I've learned to follow that. And when I do, the world just unfolds before me, you know. And anyway, that's the way I've learned to live life. So
I ran across an old friend, Ron Buccarelli. I don't know if you know Ron.
Name's kind of familiar.
Corporate pilot, but he owned precious metal.
Okay.
He sold precious metal.
Yeah, okay.
But
Well,
Ron,
I knew it when Whittington owned it.
yeah, Whittington.
Yeah.
You knew precious when Whittington was.
Yeah, Don and Bill,
Yeah.
and oh my God.
Check up on Don. He had a little thing that you needed to check up on him. The airplane itself is one thing, but Ron, at his stage of life, he's taken on another Mustang project.
Oh my God.
At home.
Oh really?
And he's soaking up Mustang parts wherever he can find them. He wants to
Good.
build another airplane.
Oh, good.
And he said, but Ben, I'm getting long in tooth, man. I said, Ron, we all are. But
Oh my gosh.
I said, pick out somebody, pick out one of these whippersnappers around here
Yeah.
that you see something special in them, and adopt them. Take them under your wing, and if they want to dedicate the time and the energy toward pursuing a dream, man, there you go. That's you're going to pay it forward.
Yeah, great.
So we had a really good chat, and it's just good to see. Maybe that's one of the things about these conventions, guys and gals, that is good for. Well, it's not so much coming here to buy stuff or see the new things, but you see
It's about the people. It's all about the
people that
yeah.
you haven't seen in 5
Yeah.
or 10 or 15 years. And what's really fun is to come across somebody. I know you from somewhere, and you hog it out to the point where you go back sometimes 25, 30
Oh my
years.
God. And you see people out of context, and I know them, but I don't know from where.
We had an award recipient here for the Maintenance Technician of the Year award, and I know you, and it says, I know you. And so it was kind of a little game, but by golly, he was a mechanic when he came out of the Navy up in Orlando for Orlando Aircraft Services, and I was with FISDO at the time. And man, he was whipped. I mean, you talking about thin, trim. I mean, he was still in his Navy buff, and things had changed. We had both been bodybuilding, if you will.
Oh my gosh.
And but
Man,
I almost didn't recognize
I'm an
him.
official senior citizen. Kermit, the little kid. I'm like, oh my God. I have some shirts over at my place I'm selling. I don't know if I should promote them on the deal here, but
Well, we
has a
promoted Naked Rum. or
Fokker
Naked
triplane on the
Jamaica.
front with the caveat that says old, mother, and little, okay? I'm just saying, so come over to my booth and we'll sell you one.
I'm not going to read between those lines, but it is fun that we come across folks, and importantly, we get the opportunity to make new friends.
For sure, yeah.
And I always I'm out walking around, and I'm not nearly as popular as you, but people see me that know me that I don't know them, and I try to figure out a way to. Okay, how am I going to tag this person of how I'm going to remember them the next time I find them?
Well, I love sitting there and talking to the people and the little kids. I don't care how high they are.
Yeah.
I sit there and I explain things to them like they're an adult, you know, because at some level they get it, okay,
Sure.
you know? And anyway, it's been great. It's all about the people, I think.
In more ways than one, it really is. And this museum is a great testimony of. There's a lot of neat stuff here. Howard Hughes has got his memorabilia at the end, and
I got some Howard Hughes memorabilia.
Did you?
Well, Howie's looking at me right there,
right
up there.
right there, and he's still looking at us.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tom Riley made it here. I saw the tail.
I will go
of
check
the
that
twin Mustang.
Good. I got two, but they're not together.
Well, we could fix that.
Okay.
But you know, the ironic thing about that twin Mustang, he says, Ben, there's maybe two parts that are similar to a single Mustang. It's uncanny, but he got his type in it yesterday.
Good.
And brought it down. And I look forward to going and leaving some fingerprints on it.
Good.
But it's
Look forward to seeing that.
it's a testimony of just determination, willpower, some funding, but actually it's the vision for seeing what something is going to look like at the end and what it's going to take from this position to get to this position.
But let me tell you something, put your hands apart. That's the spark, light that spark within, figure out what you love to do. That's your dream, you got to follow it, but it's all about the dashed lines in the middle, and
Exactly.
that's filling in the blanks.
Follow the dotted lines.
It's all about the journey.
All right, Kermit, we're going to wind this one down because you probably got someplace you need to be.
I need to go sell some books. Come out and see me.
Let's go sell some books and drink some Naked in Jamaica rum.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, folks, we're going to wind this one up. It's been a pleasure to talk with Kermit again, as usual. And I'm Ben Coleman, one of your many hosts here at the Florida Aviation Network. We'll see you next interview.